What if one mistake could change your entire future? In 1985, Back to the Future became more than just a movie. It became a cultural phenomenon, a story about time, family, and second chances. But behind the unforgettable adventure, the real lives of the cast were filled with fame, pressure, tragedy, and transformation. Some became legends, some disappeared from the spotlight, and some faced battles far greater than anything seen on screen. This is Back to the Future, then and now.
Doc, are you okay?
That was a close one, Marty. I almost bought the farm.
Michael J. Fox. Born June 9, 1961 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox became the face of an entire generation. His charm, humor, and endless energy made the character unforgettable, turning him into one of the biggest stars of the 1980s almost overnight. Audiences connected with him because he felt real, not perfect, not larger than life, but relatable. After the success of Back to the Future, his career exploded with television shows, major films, and worldwide fame. But behind the success, his life would take a heartbreaking turn. At only 29 years old, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a condition that slowly affected his movement and speech. For years, he kept the diagnosis private while continuing to work under enormous pressure. Eventually, he chose to speak openly about his illness, becoming one of the most influential advocates for Parkinson's research in the world. His journey transformed from Hollywood stardom into something even more meaningful, a story of resilience, courage, and hope. From a teenager racing through time to a man inspiring millions in real life, Christopher Lloyd. Born October 22, 1938 in Stamford, Connecticut, USA. As Doc Brown, he created one of the most iconic scientists in movie history.
Chris, you gotta get on
Wild
and
hair,
change.
frantic energy, and unforgettable lines turned Doc into the heart of the trilogy. But what made Christopher Lloyd special was his ability to make eccentricity feel human. Before Back to the Future, he was already respected as a talented character actor, but this role made him immortal in pop culture. Off-screen, Lloyd lived a far quieter life than the characters he played. He avoided the chaos of Hollywood fame and focused entirely on acting. Over the decades, he continued appearing in films and television, becoming beloved across multiple generations. His career proves that true talent never fades with time, from a quirky scientist in a time machine to one of cinema's most recognizable legends. Leah Thompson. Born May 31, 1961 in Minnesota, USA, as Lorraine Baines McFly, she portrayed multiple versions of the same character across different timelines, balancing comedy, emotion, and vulnerability in a way that felt effortless. Her performance brought warmth and humanity to the film, making Marty's family feel authentic despite the absurdity of time travel. After the trilogy, she remained active in Hollywood, appearing in television, directing projects, and building a long-lasting career. But like many actors from the 1980s, she also experienced the changing nature of fame. The spotlight shifted, trends changed, and younger generations arrived. Yet she adapted instead of disappearing. Her story reflects longevity rather than temporary popularity. From being the mother at the center of a time travel adventure to becoming a respected figure behind and in front of the camera, Crispin Glover, born April 20th, 1964, in New York City, USA. As George McFly, he created one of the strangest yet most lovable characters in the film. Nervous, awkward, and deeply insecure, George represented the fear of never becoming who you were meant to be. Glover's unusual acting style made the character unforgettable, but it also created tension behind the scenes. After the first film, disagreements over contracts and creative issues led to one of Hollywood's most controversial casting disputes. Instead of following the traditional path to fame, Glover chose independence and artistic freedom. He focused on experimental films, writing, and personal projects rather than blockbuster success. His career became unconventional, mysterious, and entirely unique. From a timid father trapped in his own fears, to to one of Hollywood's most eccentric artists, Thomas F. Wilson. Born April 15, 1959 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, as Biff Tannen, he became one of the most memorable bullies in movie history. Loud, aggressive, arrogant, yet strangely funny, Biff was the perfect villain for the story. Wilson's performance was so convincing that audiences often associated him with the character in real life. But outside the films, he was completely different, intelligent, humorous, and deeply creative. Beyond acting, he pursued stand-up comedy, voice acting, music, and writing, proving he was far more versatile than people expected. Over time, he embraced the legacy of Biff while also separating himself from it. His journey shows how one iconic role can both define and challenge an actor's identity, from terrorizing Hill Valley to becoming a respected entertainer in many different fields. Claudia Wells. Born July 5, 1966 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. In the original film, she played Jennifer Parker, Marty's girlfriend, bringing warmth and sincerity to the story. But shortly after the movie's success, her life changed dramatically. Her mother became seriously ill, and Wells made the difficult decision to step away from Hollywood entirely to care for her family. While many actors chased fame, she chose responsibility and personal sacrifice instead. For years, she disappeared from the entertainment industry, living a completely different life away from cameras and red carpets. Eventually, she returned to conventions and fan events, reconnecting with the legacy of the film. Her story is not about fame, but about priorities. From being part of one of the biggest films of the 1980s to choosing family over Hollywood success. James Tolkan. Born June 20th, 1931 in New York City, USA. As Principal Strickland, he became the unforgettable authority figure feared by every student in Hill Valley. His harsh voice and intimidating presence made even small scenes memorable. But beyond this role, Tolkan built a long career playing tough, disciplined characters in both film and television. He represented a classic era of Hollywood character actors, performers whose faces audiences recognized instantly, even if they didn't always know the name. Off-screen, he remained dedicated to the craft rather than celebrity culture. His career quietly stretched across decades, proving consistency can outlast trends. From warning Marty McFly about becoming a slacker to becoming part of cinematic history himself. Elizabeth Shue, born October 6, 1963 in Delaware, USA. Though she joined the franchise later as Jennifer Parker, Elizabeth Shue quickly became part of the series' identity. At the same time, she was building her own successful Hollywood career with films that showcased both emotional depth and strong screen presence. But her journey was marked by personal tragedy after the loss of her brother, something that deeply affected her life and perspective. Rather than letting grief destroy her, she continued acting while maintaining a more grounded and private life compared to many celebrities of her era. Over time, she became known not just for beauty or fame, but for resilience and quiet strength. From stepping into an already iconic franchise to becoming one of Hollywood's most respected actresses, Back to the Future wasn't just about time travel, it was about choices, about changing your future before it's too late. And while the characters traveled through time, the actors themselves faced something even harder. Real life. Some found happiness, some faced loss. But together, they created a story that time could never erase.